Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
I am not an animal!
Dad, I'm thirsty. I want a beer. What about you? You want a beer?
The ice is gonna break! I am not a human being! I am an animal!
And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to fucking sit here and watch you fumble around and fuck it up.
I am Shiva, the god of death.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
But for me, it was Tuesday.
And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone.
What the fuck is up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of 3 for 3. This is gonna be, I guess you could say, a batshit crazy episode.
Or the Spanish say, El loco guano.
You can already tell by Matt's camera that it's gonna be a batshit crazy episode. Matt, where are you? Are you in the ether? Where are you?
So my computer has locked me out, and in an attempt to fight the entity, I have trekked down into the deepest, darkest sewer that I could find in my house, which is just the water room. And honestly, I can't find shit, and I'm kind of scared, guys. I don't know what's going on, but at least I have my beer.
Well, that's all you need in any sticky situation.
I think
I don't know how to get out. I'm a little afraid I won't be able to.
You got to find S.I. Morales. He can help you stop it. Or find the key.
There's
find
this
the
prism
key.
that's fucking with my mind. I'm being very sedated. And I am trapped.
Well,
I am fucking trapped.
hopefully
Matt,
by the end.
Matt, how would you feel if you woke up and there was a picture of your mother next to you? How would you feel if I could tell you about your mother? If you got to know about your mother a little bit more? Would that make you feel happy? Would that give you an emotional reaction?
Is my mother Lisa Ann in this case?
Just know you cannot see your father. We forbid it. No daddy.
Yes.
No Poppy?
Well, hopefully by the end of
But
this.
I can see Pedro Pascal on the TV. That counts.
Hey, there you go. He's daddy for sure. But hopefully by the end of this episode, Mr. Patterson will be out of the sewer and will have defeated the entity. That's our hope. The entity saw our episode last week about Mission Impossible 3 and decided to attack us. But nevertheless, I am your host for this week, Mr. Jackson Workman, and I am joined by Mr. Matthew Patterson in the depths of
Duress.
and Mr. Samuel Holler.
Ciao.
And we have for you this week a
Shit.
We're good. Sorry, I thought I found the entity and I had to attack. But we're good.
Okay. Oh man.
We're good.
Matt is fighting for his life this week.
Oh God.
I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
Watch out for any bald men with knives.
Ooh, you can't trust those fuckers. Albino bald men with knives, specifically. But yes, we have, as the title suggests, a very batshit crazy episode for you this week. And I honestly think that we're going to have some pretty good discussions today. I think what we'll do is we will go ahead and how about we'll start with Sam's pick this week. Just get the fucking craziest one out of the way first. Go ahead and start at the top.
Guys, at least before we start Sam's pick, I think I found my way out of the sewer.
Oh, did you?
My way out of the sludge.
Be safe.
Oh, thank God. I found my way back.
Oh.
Guys,
Well,
I'm at
thank
least
goodness.
I'm back.
You're
I'm back
safe.
to my normal spot. That was a little intense.
That was
Sorry, I had to
intense.
see that.
I was scared for you, Matt.
But here we are.
Well, I just have to say something. Because the next pick we're going to talk about, our first pick of the episode, is Sam's pick, Repligator. And so I just have something that I want to ask you before we get started. How are you boys doing today?
Oh, it's a Repla babe.
Jello shots.
I turned into a gator babe. I went through the replicator more than once, and I turned into a gator babe. But
Well,
I'm
you're
back to
lucky you
normal.
came back, and you're lucky we didn't fuck you first.
Exactly.
Well, say I would have been scared of that, Matt. Say that would have frightened me. Matter of fact, I'll put this shit back on right now.
Sewer I got connects directly to your closet, my friend.
But are you boys ready to talk about Repligator?
Men are such pigs. I just need to get that out.
And women are alligators.
And women are such
Exactly.
alligators. Oh, man.
Take it away, Sam.
Well, I just want y'all to know the second I found out about good old fucking Repligator.
Did you buy the
all-
shit on DVD? Like, did you get it shipped to your house?
Yes. Which I love the DVD cover of it, or Blu-ray cover.
That's great.
I knew I needed this movie to be in my soul. I knew I needed everything to know everything about this movie. And then now that I have seen it, I don't know if I could really tell you much about this movie because there is so much going on. Here's the poster I got. This movie is crazy. In the world where you must picture this, the army is conducting experiments, as they always do. Secret experiments, especially. And with those secrets comes the Transporter Project. And what do? They want to transport you somewhere else. Where do issues arise? When your arch nemesis scientist who has stolen multiple ideas from you and competed against you for multiple years comes to your preview to the government to get your funding and steals that fucking project out from under your fucking feet. It was going to go fine. It was gonna work. And what happens when that man decides to take over? Well, you get on a little on the funny side. You get a little and a little zzz, and you come out a whole different person. And what do those scientists see? What are they seeing? The only thing that matters to them, and that is
Boobies.
And yes, it is censored, so YouTube doesn't fucking kill us.
Or TikTok.
Things go wrong. And
Eyes up here, fellas.
what do you have?
Sam, get out of the way.
Yeah, you're blocking a good shot.
Oh, wait, shit, I don't know how to cover her face with my little alligator.
Yeah, the face doesn't matter. That's not what we're looking at.
Damn.
Jesus.
But these gator babes, they're coming for you.
Oh,
They're
they
coming
certainly
for you.
are.
And we
If you
must
know what I mean.
stop them. And that is Repligator. And all its fucking trauma-esque glory.
Hey, better than Amelia Perez.
By far.
You're not even wrong.
By large, definitely one of the most out there movies I think I have pushed y'all towards on this cast, and I'm
One
very
of?
proud to have picked it.
Out there, Sam
One of?
officially picked like what is softcore porn.
Yeah, literally. That's I
You've
I
broken
showed. I
that
just have to mention. I mentioned to my friend at work I was like, yeah, on the podcast this week we're reviewing a movie called Repligator, and here's the poster. And I showed her, and the first thing she said was, "So y'all are watching a porno?" And I said, pretty much. That's what it is.
Not my pick.
I must say, I did partake in some beverages while watching this, so my count might be wrong for the total. But in the first 5 minutes, you get 6 breasts. And by the hour to hour 15-ish mark, which is when I definitely stopped paying attention to it all, you got 25 breasts in total.
25 boobies.
High count. High count.
That's a lot.
Yep. Sir, what is happening, sir?
This is a very out there comment that I think Matt will also get. But what that girl did with the hammer to that dude is exactly what I wanted Audrey from Twin Peaks season 3 to do to that little fuck. I was thinking about that the whole time, and I don't know why.
Charlie, you mean?
Yeah, Charlie. Fucking bastard.
You know what I thought was really funny about this movie?
What?
How quick, I mean, I kind of knew this already, but how quick the homies were willing to fuck the other homies right when they became women.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'd let Hunter Schafer take me any day, so that's fine with me. But I'm just saying, god damn, this was a quick jump.
Oh,
the Dr. Oliver was that he was DTF for sure. I mean, just pretty much from the jump.
Boom. Yep. This movie was the wildest shit I think I've ever seen. And I think I watched it in a similar state Jackson did because I got off work recently about 12 to 1. And so I was watching this movie probably the 2 times that I had to watch it because I fell asleep the first time halfway through was like 2 a.m., 5 beers deep, melatonin deep. Like I'm barely clinging on to consciousness watching this shit. And it is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Jackson, have you seen anything by Troma?
Oh, this was a Troma, wasn't it?
I doubt it.
It isn't a Troma, and that's what threw me off because this is.
It seems like it could be
what Troma does. You need to watch Toxic Avenger. No tiki, no laundry. Is my favorite line from.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so my experience watching this was interesting. So as I mentioned last week, there you go.
Oh yeah.
As is normally Sam, I would have a home-cooked meal prepared for you, but because this is a typical male fantasy, we'll go right to bed instead. And I hope you don't mind, I brought my friend over here to bed with us.
As long as you don't touch the glasses, ladies.
This week on the 3 for 3 podcast, a real 3 for 3 is going to break out here.
We're all going to turn into Repla babes and have an orgy.
There you go. But yeah,
it's not gay.
It's not, just like Timberlake said, it's not gay when it's in a 3-way. Remember that. That's the golden rule.
Justin Timberlake said that? That's crazy.
And Andy Samberg.
Well, they said that because they were in a Diddy party and they had to fucking...
Oh.
They had to figure out some way to make it not.
They'll be called up to testify this week. However,
they'll be next.
This viewing experience was interesting because, as I mentioned last week,
napkin. This napkin looks like the napkin I also hold in my hand after watching this movie.
Jesus fuck.
Well, I can't believe you only used one. I have like 10, so I got you beat there. But
well, at least I don't waste as much fucking tissues, Jackson. Fucking horrible person. Not economically viable. One.
If jerking off to this makes me a horrible person, I don't want to be a good person, Matt.
It has nothing to do with the jerking off. It has to do with the amount you're using too much. There's no amount of cum that requires that.
I don't think you understand how much I jerked off to this film, Matt. 10 tissues. I'm surprised it wasn't 30. Okay.
No, you got to reuse the tissue. Because after a while, you can use half a tissue.
I did. I reused it many times. That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe you.
I don't think you understand how many times I was jacking off to this movie. I don't think you get it, but we'll just leave that.
Can you not jack off to this movie? That's the question.
Say what?
It's not how many times.
Yeah.
It's how can you not?
How can you not?
Sam, did you?
Oh.
How many times?
I'm banned from Tubi because I watched this movie nonstop for the last 3 days, just Crikey.
Wait, are you banned from Tubi because you were using the Luby?
Dry. Fully dry.
That's
Raw
tasty as
dogging
fuck
it.
then. Dude, you're... Bro,
Sam was raw
circumcised
dogging
if you're uncircumcised, that tip is Clifford red.
And since I have the X-ray vision, I don't need to, like, everybody in the movie is naked the whole time, so it's like the whole thing is just a straight smorgasbord.
This is probably the fastest we've ever gone off the rails. It usually happens much later in the episode.
It's indicative of the title.
It really is.
If I had signed in, I'm sure we wouldn't have started this crazy, but see, I'm fucked. I could go on a walk right now. I could go on a fucking walk. You know what? I might take this mobile.
Do it, bitch.
I might go through a McDonald's drive-thru.
On the cat.
I'll order some chicken nuggets just for movie night reference.
Get the nether sauce.
I'll ask them what they think of the movies.
That's a good idea.
Show them.
Have you seen this?
The posters.
But what I was going to say earlier was, I think I'm not 100. I need you both actually to confirm something for me, because I watched this. Like I said last week, I've been rewatching the Mission Impossible movies. I watched Fallout the night I saw this, and then threw this on after I got done with that. And I was for the first hour of the movie, I was awake. And then at around the hour mark, I started the fact that I actually got through this thing without falling completely asleep is a miracle. So what I need you to do for me is confirm, because I was in a twilight state while watching this. Did I really see this, or did I dream it?
You completely dreamed it. You are still dreaming.
You dreamed. The only part you dreamed was when the Repligator babe pulled off their mask, and it was Tom Cruise, but it was still the boobs, but it was just Tom Cruise's face. And then you were still jerking off to that for about a good 5 minutes, and the film didn't seem to go on any further. That's when it was a dream for you, my friend.
Well, that was my favorite. That was my favorite part. I wanted to go back and rewatch that part. You telling me I can't?
My friend, I had the same issue, and yes, you will never get that fucking joy. You'll never get that pleasure. You'll never get that dopamine again.
Matt, that's the hardest I've ever been. You're telling me I'm never going to be able to recapture that?
Not unless
I'm killing myself.
Not unless you call Tom Cruise Dimitri to his face,
or Dr. Kilgrave, or whatever his name, Kildare.
No, if you call him Dimitri to his face, he's going to karate chop you in the throat, and then you're going to get hard for the rest of your life.
Jackson. Okay. As the only member of this who has Gator Babe cosplay materials, did you wear the mask while watching the movie to be a Gator dude to try to get with the Gator Babe?
Do you even have to
actually
ask,
no
Sam?
Question? Did you
even have to ask? Do you know me at all? After all these years of friendship, you don't know me well enough to know the answer to that question.
The mask, butt ass naked, socks.
You were Gator baiting the whole time, right?
Indeed.
Not a reference to the movie, but just a reference to masturbating and the fact that he was wearing an alligator hat.
Gator bait, yes. Goat.
Yes.
But yeah, so
we haven't talked about that.
You know something else? Okay.
This movie doesn't have anything to talk about.
I'm gonna try.
Hey, you ever see Star Trek? It has tons of connections to that.
You know what? Transsexuals invaded the U.S. Army. That happened. It's fine. We're okay with it.
Call it, guys.
Don't tell.
Guys,
we got that part down.
You could call what they were working on a transporter.
Oh,
because that's really what it was. But
call it Jason Statham.
Say what?
Jason Statham.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is the fastest we've ever gone off the damn rails.
Maybe cut that joke.
So I am going to try to talk about the plot of that. Because honestly, I have... okay,
the plot is what? What is the plot?
Brett McCormick put this thing together like a goddamn masterpiece. He knew.
I think we should take turns explaining the plot to see if we all get it right. Like we all have different versions of the plot.
Okay, Sam, you go first.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, it's your movies, motherfucker.
You subjected us to this. Now you got to
Bare
pay.
bones. The scientists are working on this transporter thing to help the U.S. government, and then things go wrong. They turn into the Gator Babes, and then they start attacking everybody, and we got to stop them.
Okay. Jackson, your turn.
So, yeah, a group of scientists are trying to make a replicator for the U.S. government, but they got it to work, but there's just one problem. Every time someone goes through the replicator, they turn into a hot, horny chick. And then the other problem is if you go through it twice, not just once, but twice, you turn into a hot, scaly chick, not horny chick, scaly, because you're a fucking gator babe, and they got to stop the gator babes, and they got to fucking find a way to reprogram the transporter to make it work. And the gator babes are also horny, and they're trying to fuck everybody in the office. And yeah, that's the gist of it.
All right. My plot. Human beings descended from beings that came out of the ocean. They were with scales at first, gills, etc., turned into apes, and now we are here with evolution. The U.S. Army, attempting to replicate people, unfortunately realized they can just change their gender. And they immediately got really horny. And everyone got really horny, and they just wanted to fuck each other. And so it becomes a good amount of fucking and horniness for the good amount of the movie until they went, man, hey, can we make them hotter or some shit? Yeah, let's just be greedy as shit and run them through a second time. Fuck it, right? Nope. Just, this was just genetically bringing us back because apparently a lot of people were women, I guess is the point, because if you're a man, you're going to genetically regress into a woman. Is that the point? And then you regress into a fucking Repla babe, which, hey, great. We're also the subhuman, but we still have tits though, so you can fuck us because that's subhuman. And not only does every male scientist in the movie fuck with it and or get used by it, but the grossest one is the one who gets the fucking most joy out of turning people into this shit. And that is Repligator to a T, in my opinion, because it is made by horny men for horny fat men, apparently, with like Stavros Hulkus level fucking looking people. No offense to that dude. Only a few people will get that joke. And no offense to him, but still.
I don't think he really looks... Stavros, how the fuck you pronounce his last name, has hair. This guy had none.
But he looks like he's... I was still seeing it.
They're both just fat. That's the only thing they have in common.
They had like a mustache that you were talking about the same dude?
The main doctor guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't have a mustache.
I don't know. They gave off similar vibes.
Okay.
To me. I'm going to double down on that and say not cut that, Bart, because I don't really care.
Okay.
About my relationship with that person.
I think it's time for another Jello shot.
This movie, another Jello shot. Yes, I'll take a shot. I'll take a drink. This movie is the most fucking it's pretty.
You want to know something hilarious though? I was gonna wait until later.
I very rarely take stances like this. Very rarely, by the way. Let's just put that out there. This is a rare thing for me. Everyone knows this.
I'm gonna be honest. This movie's obviously not good. I mean, I don't.
It's obviously not good, but there's not even a redeeming. I love it. I couldn't dig deeper into it.
I love it.
What I was going to say is,
I didn't.
I had a fun enough time with it. I mean, it's awful. It's absolutely terrible. But it was funny how stupid and bad it was, and I wasn't bored by it. It's the only one of the three movies that I wasn't bored by. I'm just going to say that. It's the only one. This had the most focused plot of the three films. Can I just say that? This movie literally, what does that say about the other two? That this movie literally had the most focus
I'll say that's
of the
fair.
three.
I'll say that's fair. We focused on Repligator. They focused on the Repla babes a lot.
The plot at the beginning is still the same plot at the end. There's a through line at least. There's focus in the story in this one. I can't say the same for the other two. But you know,
it's the batshit, crazy episode.
yeah, that's the most
Which is
batshit
funny to
crazy
say
thing.
that this movie, which is probably honestly my least favorite of the three, which I don't disagree with your statement, Jackson, by the way.
Honestly, it's the one I enjoyed the most out of the three, which I was not expecting.
So Jackson's 1 for 3 this week. Hell yeah.
I'm like
I'm
one
half
and a
for
half
three.
for three.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I'm
I
half.
don't even
I'm half
love
for
War
three.
Inc. personally, but I'll give it a
Like,
half star for
So
trying.
this one, honestly, just like it's stupid. There were some lines in the movie, I'm not gonna lie, that genuinely made me laugh. Like the part where he goes like, they were few and far between because most of it is literally just a softcore porno. But
Yes, and
but
that's not.
like, I can't remember the point I was in the middle of, but yeah,
There's
it's
so much value to the fact that this movie like came together, was made, has a cohesive like you could follow it to a degree.
And movie adaptations of books are rare, like rarely good. And I will say this is probably the most faithful adaptation of Animorphs I've ever seen.
Heard? It is
Okay.
very close, yeah. It did
um,
have
I mean, the
three
cover.
writers.
The cover looks like the book. Like, do not tell me the poster doesn't look like Animorphs book.
For sure.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, truly, the movie. Oh, what I was gonna say was there were genuinely some lines that actually made me laugh, like the scene where he goes, where Gunnar Hansen, who Leatherface is in this, Leatherface is in this for some reason, and he couldn't have a more non-threatening voice if he tried in real life. It's hilarious, but yeah. So, but he when he's talking to the general guy, saying like, we tried once to have a mind control beam sent out to the public under the guise of some kind of mind control experiment. The result? The Macarena. I actually I can't remember the whole, but I literally had to rewind that like at least once. I was like, that was a genuinely funny line, but
The one I laughed at was when they were like, "And you're aware of the mortal risks?" And the guy was like the soldier was like, "What?"
yeah.
And they were like, "Are you aware of everything that was said to you?" And he's like, "Yes, sir. Up until the mortal risks, sir." I thought that shit was funny to me.
But
yes, this movie was funny. But
Just so absurd.
yeah. It's
I had to bring it
absurd, but that's the thing. It knows it's stupid. Like it's
Exactly.
completely self-aware of what it is. It knows it's dumb, So
and I feel like there are some scenes that like could have been not edited better, but like maybe moved around a little bit. Because I feel like the ending was like 3 endings. It's like, okay,
it went on for a very long time.
It ended. Oh, fuck.
Trying to be Return of the King.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta like pump out those last few.
Just like you pumped out of
They know the audience. They know their audience for sure. But I gotta say, it really, maybe that's the reason I liked it more than the others, because this is the only one of the three that, like, the other two are trying so hard to like be something, to like, they're not aware that they're boring pieces of shit. They're both just like, no, we're trying to be something and say something. And this one's like, we know what the fuck we are. Just sit back and laugh at us if you want to, So I'm like, all right, I respect that.
How many softcore porns have you seen, Jackson? No, I mean like softcore, not like Pornhub.
Too many to count.
That's it, because I got a few on my wall that actually have pretty good plots, similar to this one.
He watched,
and that's why I can kind of judge this one a little bit, because I've seen not even softcore, just porn with full-on plots that I enjoy.
No, I don't. That kind of porn, I literally can't handle that kind of shit. I think it's so stupid, but
Dick Competition, I recommend this to anybody.
Oh,
it's got Ron Jeremy in it. It's the Rocky of dick sucking.
In 4K, too.
In 4K.
You say the Rocky of dick sucking?
Yes. It's called Fifth Competition.
Oh my god. That's good.
I'm just thinking da 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 da.
I literally when I say that, you guys are laughing.
Suck some cock.
I'm not joking.
Gonna come now.
Yes.
On your dick.
Basically, like.
Basically.
Yes, there is no. I'm not even joking.
Blowjob.
Oh my god.
The movie. Yes, that's why I'm like, okay, there's stiff competition. That movie.
As he climaxes, yo, Adrian, I did it.
No,
It's more. Oh, Adrian.
So,
oh,
let me paint a
Adrian.
picture for you. It's the finale, right? She's been practicing for the dick sucking competition the whole movie. She's doing so well that the manager of the other girl who's sucking dick gets mad at the guy whose dick she's sucking because he's not doing good enough job. So he pushes him out of the way and pulls out his own dick for her to suck. And they're like, "Is this legal? Can they do this?" And I'm like, "Is it legal? Can they do this?" Like, I don't know.
That's what I was asking while watching Repligator when they were transporting people. Is this legal? Can they do this? And
I was
they
gonna
didn't.
say
who's also
this is
asking
like
that?
when Mr. T
CNN.
killed the old dude in fucking Rocky 3.
I think most of America. No, Jackson, to your point, is this legal? Can they do this? I think most news people are asking about that for the Trump administration. Can they? Is this legal? Can they do this?
That made me
Repligator is
laugh, my
relevant to
forehead
modern
vein
times.
Just like pulsated.
Repligator is relevant to modern times. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We have found the correlation between this cinematic masterpiece and our current political landscape. You see,
You could say we've cracked the genetic code.
indeed.
And it screams Gator.
And it screams bait.
The Gator Bay. Also, again, one of the lines that made me genuinely laugh out loud. She had a prehistoric orgasm. That again, I'm like, that's funny. That made me laugh. But yeah.
What a wild movie.
Wild ass movie.
I mean, I think we all picked wild movies in different ways. Like all of our movies were wild in very
well,
different
that was the
ways.
assignment. So, but Sam's was definitely the wildest of the three. I think it's safe to say, which we knew it was gonna be. As soon as I saw the poster, I was like, okay.
Well,
We're in.
see, I almost picked Elvis from like one of the Tubi movies that was like shitty. I almost picked one of those, but I decided to go for Warwick.
Well, since you mentioned it, Mr. Patterson, perhaps it is time to segue into
Gotta
our
do
next
at least
pick.
another shot, whether it's a hot shot or another Jello shot.
Let's say, don't fucking take my bit.
You got the.
But we are going to segue
I got the Jellos.
into our next film, rather, which is War Inc. Take it away, Mr. Patterson.
All right. I have to refer to my notes really quick because I have a whole spiel.
Oh, boy.
First off, I must say TJ Miller's hot sauce.
Oh my God! Is the signature still on it?
Yes, you see it?
No.
Holy shit.
Go.
Rotate your bottle. Oh damn! Yours is
Good
hella
signature
much
still.
better. Fuck it, I'm grabbing mine. I gotta show you how bad mine
Chipotle.
is.
TJ Miller's hot sauce, Chipotle.
Okay. Didn't know either of you had that.
Yes. So Sam and I saw TJ Miller. Quick side note. Sam and I saw TJ Miller during the pandemic at Comedy Zone live.
This was after he called a bomb threat in on a train?
No. I don't know. Very intimate venue. He was kind of funny. He bought somebody a pizza. He seemed actually kind of nice. He was a little rude to me.
Well, yeah. I've heard he's pretty rude.
But, I was nice to him, which was the issue. I shouldn't have been nice.
Yeah.
Also, there's a picture of me, Sam, and TJ, and I'm the only motherfucker to pull my mask down.
Ah.
And I was
You
mad
send
at
me
Sam
that photo?
because he didn't.
I don't
Yeah,
have that photo.
Sam, fuck you for not telling me to not do that.
Look at mine.
You didn't. Mine, I have another one that's fucked up, too.
It's because I put it in the
Alright.
fridge after opening. Oh
So-
shit! Let me do a shot with you. Fuck it. I'll drink straight from the bottle.
Sam, it's probably expired.
Sam's raw dog and everything this episode.
Best by 02/24/23.
Yep,
Very
that's how much
expired.
mine's expired. I'm expecting to throw up. I just didn't want to. I don't want to drag you into my stomach issues for my stunt.
Okay. I've already done 3 Jello shots. My stomach's gonna be fucked.
Fair.
Nothing but gelatin in this tummy.
All right. Well, cheers.
Just like the gelatin in Hillary Duff's Botox. Cheers.
All right. As we say on the podcast, picture this.
Woo.
Your name is Russell Brand. Sorry. Your name is Cole Hauser. Ah! Sorry. Your name is Brand Hauser, which sounds suspiciously fake, like it should be. It also sounds like your name should be Martin Blank, which also sounds fake. But no matter the name you have that sounds suspiciously fake, you are an assassin of the highest order, hired by the government, in this case, namely, Dan Aykroyd, with his Dick Cheney hanging out on the toilet as the vice president, sending you, this assassin, to Afghanistan, Tarakistan, to cover as a trade show host in the middle of a war fought by a private army who are imposing our American ways on a third world country, which we're helping make worse by bombing the shit out of on a daily basis. Anyways, all this just to kill Omar Sharif. No, not that one. The leader of Tarakistan, of course, you dumb fucks.
Not his second appearance on the podcast, because it's a different Omar Sharif.
Yes. This one doesn't run fast. Anyways, and in the middle of all this, you fall in love with a journalist, because when it's Marissa Tomei, who the fuck couldn't? And on top of that, you got to host a wedding for a Tarakistani pop star who looks suspiciously like Lizzie McGuire. But we don't say that. She fucked up at some point. Anyways, you're also dealing with some heavy PTSD about your dead wife and kidnapped daughter who you assume is dead, which you deal with by drinking hot sauce. Thank you, DJ Miller.
No tears.
No tears. Nothing. I didn't cry that whole time, and I took a whole shot. We also have some wonderful performances by Joan Cusack as, yet again, his sister and assistant, who blows a fucking gasket several times throughout the movie. Ben Kingsley, and probably his most unhinged performance since Gandhi.
I need to quickly say this.
Montiel Williams as the voice of Guide Star.
The fact that his name was Walken right after our Christopher Walken special, and it features the song Boom Boom Bang Bang, I was like, oh, this is
the universe is throwing us some things.
Also, anyways, we have the movie War Inc. I was going to say, we have the movie War Inc. This movie is crazy as shit. Definitely politically charged era John Cusack, of course. However, I think it says some things that are hilarious.
Not as politically
charged. Moments that are boring as shit, but there is moments that are wild. And I will let you guys take it away, because while this movie is not great at all, and we're going to have some things to say, I will at least try to shine a light on some of the funnier things about it as much as I can. Not that it's a great movie. It is definitely worth its rating.
I'll take the baton from you, Matt. This was not a great movie. It was not even a good movie. It was a stupid fucking movie. And, I think it was... Again,
that
the fact
voodoo that you do so
that
well.
you do. So, yes.
The fact that this was somehow less focused than Repligator really says something. When a fucking political satire movie that's trying to be clever and make a point is less focused than a softcore porno with babes in reptile masks, you fucked up. You didn't say anything clever.
Well, they fucked up because they tried to make Hillary Duff his daughter. That was the big point that fucked it up for me.
Can I just say something? The movie sucked before then, but when that happened, literally I was like, because the absolute fucking minute they introduced, like, I don't know where my daughter is, I'm like, they're not going to do that. They're not stupid enough to do that. They're not going to make Hillary Duff his daughter. That wouldn't make any sense. And then when finally, she's your daughter, you're the father of the bride, I was like, my brain just shut down. I was like, I can't actually like.
But there is still really more of a movie before that, though.
Say what?
There was still a movie before that. There is a whole opening.
I'll say this.
Decent, right?
I'll say this really quick.
Jokes, right?
I'll say this really quick, and then I'll ask Sam what he thought. The first 30-ish minutes of the movie, I didn't hate. I was like, okay, it's not good. The satire is extremely over the top and not nearly as clever as it thinks it is. But I do appreciate at least that it's not boring. I was like, it's not boring. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I was kind of sitting here watching it in a what the fuck kind of way. It was kind of amusing in that sense. And there was occasionally, again, like Repligator, there was occasionally a funny line. Like, honestly, Dan Aykroyd saying, sorry, give me a minute. I got a log the size of a cane frog in here. I had to rewind that because it actually really made me laugh. But, and I thought he was very underused. His performance was actually very funny. Most of the actors in the movie didn't work for me. John Cusack was just whispering and sleepwalking through the whole movie. I wanted to slap Hilary Duff in the fucking face because she was getting on my absolute last nerve with her high-pitched, whiny-ass voice and her bad fucking accent.
Her accent was terrible.
Why she's not even doing a Middle Eastern accent. I don't even know that sounded like a Russian accent or like she's talking like Dracula. I was like, what the fuck are you even doing? God damn, you're so terrible. But then like but at least like, there was something going for it. After the 30-minute mark, I became, what I was like during this movie? I was like Joan Cusack towards the end of the film, where just like her, I was screaming, can you just kill the fucking guy and get it over with already? Because seriously, that just completely stopped being the plot after 30 minutes. It just becomes about Hilary Duff. I was like, why is this the plot of the movie now? What are we doing? Who gives a rat's ass? I thought the whole point of the movie was we're supposed to assassinate this businessman, and we haven't even seen or mentioned him for an hour. Like, what the fuck is even going on?
Because we also had to introduce the fact that his current boss was his old boss.
Yeah, very well done, by the way. Those flashbacks.
Oh yeah, like we didn't know that was going to happen.
Say what?
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen the first time I saw the movie.
Well, not only is it really obvious, but Amazon spoiled it for me because when you pause the movie, it shows the actors at the bottom.
And, it said Walken.
And it said Walken or the Viceroy under Ben Kingsley. So I was like, okay, I feel like it was pretty obvious anyway. But if that
confirmed.
Me.
I see that this movie, yes, that's why I picked this. Because like originally, I thought about picking it just in general. And I was like, nah, this movie fucking sucks. But when you said batshit crazy episode, I was like, this movie is fucking crazy. Like, makes no sense at all. And what other movie do you have Ben Kingsley in a wheelchair
country accent
saying, I can control this shit with my eyes? And then just having John Cusack walk up and dab hot sauce into his eyes until smoke emits from them.
Career
and then
low.
has it running around on the back of it with a fucking gun. It's absurd, stupid.
Second,
I have to point out
the rundown, which when they threw the alcohol in the Rock's face, it had that sizzle and like burn.
True.
I also have to point out he fires the gun at Ben Kingsley, and the thing is out of bullets. And then 2 minutes later, when he rides into the wedding hall, he's firing the fucking guns at everybody there, and they have bullets again all of a sudden. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This is so stupid. Career low for Ben Kingsley. I just have to say, I mean, like this and The Love Guru in the same year, he just hit a career low.
He needed money.
I guess he did. He must have fucking owed some people some money or something. But Sam, what did you think?
Let's just say after that makeout scene in the car, Uncle Ben wasn't the only one to give Marissa Tomei the
There you go. That's the only, honestly. Yeah, that's the only positive thing I can say is at least I got to look at Marissa Tomei for an hour and 45 minutes.
The part where all the people were in the chairs being just like flung around with the chips in their heads, which is another tie into last episode with the chips in the brains. I found it really funny. Completely all over the place, but like a concept that I really enjoyed. And like this kind of dystopian future that is very realistic and very telling of the time, I think is also like a nice place to like kind of set your thing. It just definitely you kind of forget what the movie was kind of about after a while, and then it kind of comes back, and then you kind of don't care anymore, which is upsetting, but like I still really enjoyed what was going on.
Can I bring up a thing that I just thought of when you said that?
Sure.
Isn't that what the 2005 Wakanda was about?
Okay.
It happened so long, you forget what it was about, and at the end, you kind of don't care anymore.
Damn. Okay. You're right about that.
What I was going for.
You're right about that.
So that I went out there because you said that I was like.
Fez head caught me off guard when he said Fez head.
I have to be honest, Dan Aykroyd was killing me that entire scene, though. Every
Oh,
delivery
Aykroyd was
had
great.
what was the guide star?
Yeah, Montiel Williams.
Yeah, Matt,
That's-
you need to plug into your guide star and let them fix your computer. Guide you
Literally.
back into your account.
I love the guy star when he was just like being kind of mean to him, and he was just like, "You fucking asshole."
I just
Yeah.
couldn't believe the shots of him in that flying that's jet. And then the fact that he had enough space in
terrible.
that jet to walk around.
The
No,
CGI jet was fucking appalling.
The CGI was bad. I had to forgive it for being like a drama movie in 2008 or whatever, 2007 when they shot it, probably. But like
when it's on par with the spaceship from Leprechaun 4, that's not good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Did either of y'all see the cameraman
Yeah.
hit Marissa Tomei in the face with the camera stand?
No.
Oh,
but no,
he was like running into the room and she was standing there and she just got smacked in the face really hard with the end of the stand, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow. Poor Marissa.
She kept playing the scene. The scene continued for another minute or
Because she's a professional.
exactly.
But had you guys not picked this or picked this episode special, I would have not picked this movie. Yes, this movie is batshit crazy, and all I can say is this: unless we choose this on a later podcast, which I think we all will, maybe at some point, because we all love the movie. The only reason I chose this was because I wanted to watch Gross Point Blank, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and didn't feel like going to get my DVD, so I chose War Inc.
His character is very similar.
One thing you can't deny, like in my opinion, it's not even that it's similar. You could just say it is his character because
It is. I mean, like, because you would mention that to us.
Hilarious that he
And
had his
if
own
Joan Cusack
costume,
wasn't
like
his
makeup assistant, and Hilary Duff didn't.
And they have that moment. They have this moment, Joan and John, and they're walking in, and he goes, "What's your cover?" And then she explains his cover, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And like kind of a moment. And then it was right after the SPF scene. Where he
Bro,
throws the fucking
when he
sunblock.
throws that shit, I knew he was gonna regret that shit.
Yeah,
Skin
but
was
like later on, like
burned.
when they're talking, I was like, okay, this is definitely them. You know, like to me, I was like, this is just their character. They're pretending to be different people.
And I was in my head, I was thinking, because you would mention that to us, that like look at it as if it's his character from Gross Point Blank, and I kept that in mind the whole movie, and I was like, it fits. It honestly tracks. And like you could even say that the wife that died was Minnie Driver. I'm just like it.
Like if they had done, maybe she had blonde hair in the flashbacks, but if
But
they
that's the
had
only
brown
thing.
hair,
Like it still tracks. Like
yeah, it still tracks. Yep, and it explains why he likes Mr. Tomei because they have similar looks.
Dan Aykroyd was also in that movie.
And if you think, did Dan Aykroyd become the vice? I mean, granted, he died, but like, you know, yeah. But Dan Aykroyd also had he had a very similar like mannerisms with the quick, the wit.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd did a better job playing Dick Cheney than Christian Bale, I guess you could say.
That's exactly what he was supposed to be, was Dick Cheney. Guarantee that for sure.
Not
There
even
was no
hiding
question
it.
about that one. But that's why I don't know. I think there is some merit to the movie. Like there is a little bit of like, okay, we're trying to satirize things, but no, it's a clusterfuck. It's a wild movie.
Well, it's a clusterfuck, and it also just the whole thing just felt to me like John Cusack's like vanity, like I'm gonna say something political project because you
could argue that was like a lot of his other movies too, but they weren't.
Yes, but this one is like he co-wrote it and he starred in it, and you can tell
He co-wrote High Fidelity. Co-wrote.
Yeah, you're right. He co-writes most of his movies, but
Gross Point Blank.
Yeah, you're right. So
but
I mean. If you're gonna do that, you got to say something clever. And again, there are like,
well, that's the Cusack. Like, you can tell he's writing for himself when he's just like literally sitting there pontificating.
Yeah,
and you're like, whatever. And then I thought the least part was Marissa Tomei kind of giving him shit for it.
Yeah, those were the better.
She at least called him out.
The better written parts were the scenes between them where she's kind of calling him out and they're having conversations about that. But
I feel like that's definitely John's like writing.
But that's the thing.
That sounded like him.
Maybe so, but like that's the thing is like again, genuinely, it wasn't good from the start, but it wasn't like awful. It was.
Well, can we bring up the Beau is Afraid aspects a little bit?
As in.
Well, because like there's just parts where like literally him and Marissa Tomei are talking, and there's just bombings outside.
Or like
Oh,
that one
yeah.
part where she pulls up and then that dude just shows up and tries to rush her, and all the bodyguards just start beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? There are some Beau's Afraid moments in this movie, which I want to bring up.
But
because, like, maybe Ari Aster was trying to get us some shit, too. In that I didn't think about before.
yeah, I don't know. Like there were points, especially in the first part, where I was like, I appreciate at least kind of how weird and crazy it is, but I'm telling, literally, Hilary Duff ruined the movie. Like when the movie became
I'm a Lizzie McGuire fan, man. I love Lizzie McGuire so much.
I mean, like I don't I like Hilary Duff. I'm just saying, like, she ruined the movie. Like, once they
see, she's like eye candy for me. Like, literally. I will watch How I Met Your Father. I don't give a fuck. I'll watch
That's what
that
Marissa
just for her.
Tomei is for, Matt. That's what she was for me. But
Marissa Tomei was that for me too. But Hilary Duff hits a different spot.
True.
It's like Marissa Tomei hits like my mental, like, yes, this intellectually hits me. Hilary Duff is like my prostate. It just fucking makes me hard.
Marissa Tomei checks off every box for me, but she's a 4-quadrant babe for sure. But I don't know. I guess just when the movie became about Hilary Duff and that became the entire fucking driving force, like, focus of the film, it lost me. I was like, this is just boring. This is boring as shit. I literally couldn't care less. I literally was like Joan Cusack. Like, why the fuck have you just not killed the damn businessman yet? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Okay, we can piggyback off of Repligator real quick. John Cusack, despite his good intentions, men are pigs. Before he knew she was his daughter, you knew there was something up. Yeah, like, despite the scene where he said no, you could feel hesitation. There wasn't a shoving off.
We got a good old boy situation going on.
And I'm gonna say this. Wait, what did you say?
Spoiler alert, we got a good old boy situation going on.
Yes, 100%. Yes! Holy shit! Maybe we need to bring this up. Like, because, like, yeah. This is definitely an old boy. Like, John Cusack watched Old Boy, said, I want to make a comment on the war, and I also want to make an interesting movie. Let's do Old Boy mixed with commentary.
Yeah. Well, I don't think,
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
That is a very good point, Sam. But I don't think in this instance, I think
it is.
For most of the movie, I don't think he wanted to, because he says at one point, because he throws up when she tries to, like, come on to him, and then he's like, I'm repulsed by her, and I don't know why. Like, I don't want her, and I can't figure it out. And it's because deep down
you
there's
were repulsed by her.
Bro,
he was a wedding prostitute.
I'm repulsed by half the strippers
Hilary
on my
Duff
lap.
was about to get Hillary stuffed.
Hey, I'm repulsed by half the strippers on my lap. My dick is still hard.
All right.
Well, I guess I can't
On
argue
that
with
note,
that.
I do really want to shout out the composer, David Robbins. He did, like, Bob Roberts and Sean Penn movies and Gattaca.
Sean Penn.
But John Cusack wrote the lyrics to her music that she was performing, and so I really love that aspect. I wonder if he, like, collaborated with the composer, or if they.
Do you think John Cusack would do well on Hot Ones?
Yes,
I think he would. He wouldn't cry.
We need to get John Cusack on Hot Ones and then just have him spout his political repertoire.
Hey, yo, Sean.
Constantly as he's in between wings.
Hey, yo, Sean. Make it happen.
Make it happen, Sean.
Come on, Sean. The 3 for 3 podcast is calling you out. Get John Cusack on.
I know we haven't promoted the corn star that you like, but we'll promote her if you get John Cusack on Hot Ones.
If you get John Cusack on Hot Ones, Sean, we're going to make sure you get one good.
I don't know what that voice is you're doing, but...
I'm doing the one.
All right.
Well, okay. Any final thoughts on War Inc., gentlemen?
Let me double check my notes.
I really find it amusing.
I'm on my notes, app or I'm on the thing, so I have to like at least check my notes to make sure there's not one thing.
I find it hilarious.
Yes, there is one thing I need to mention that we have not mentioned.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a 3-piece with the boss sauce and some macaroni and cheese and a side of potatoes. What? The Popeyes in this goddamn movie. Can we bring up Popeyes for a second?
yo, when they were running down the hallway and he was just running along with them, that was so fun.
Yeah, the fact that he dies in a Popeyes, that it's the Popeyes. Like, that's for me a big thing we need to bring up that we haven't brought up.
Ben Kingsley dies in a Popeyes.
You know, now I'm gonna piggyback off of that statement to say that all the ads on the army tanks were fucking hilarious. To the Humvees, when you throw an ad on the back of like a military thing going through a war zone, it's inherently funny.
That is one of the few satirical elements of the movie that genuinely I kind of was like, I see what that's kind of clever.
I'm gonna curveball you, Jackson. It's a ripoff of Southland Tales.
It is.
Oh
yes,
shit!
I'm gonna curveball you on that one.
So it's not even original.
I did find it really funny when the voice was talking. It would morph between all those different celebrities, and we had
Donald Trump. Yeah, they brought up Donald Trump. I thought that was hilarious, and then they mixed him with Hugh Hefner.
Yeah,
which I thought was also hilarious. Like I was like, okay, there are moments in this movie that are small. They're like hilarious.
I didn't think that. The only time I thought that worked was when like. Because them having it in the office and just switching back and forth, I was like, okay, that's weak and lame. But them having it like out in the city as a way of like trying to force the American imagery onto the people, I was like, that's clever. You should have done more of that in the movie. You should have doubled down on that. That would have been funny. But again, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So like, there's only one moment where that's the case. But yeah, also they die at the end.
Who?
Everybody. The missile like is going towards their plane.
No, it's not.
Oh.
I mean, it cuts to black.
No, they die.
No, it cuts to black. It cuts to black, Jack. You want to get close? I'll put my mouth in this shit.
There. Cut to black.
All right.
Hey, you know what? Did Leo die? We don't know. Hey, you know what? Is John Wick dead? They're making John Wick 5.
Well, I'll tell you
Fuck
this.
you.
I know who did die.
Osama?
Yes, allegedly. But
Saddam?
Yes, because Trey Parker and Matt Stone killed him.
Wait, did Gorbachev die?
No, he's still alive.
Ah!
But you know who did die? One of the people in one of those pictures, John Wayne, from 10 pounds of undigested red meat in his ass.
Yes, yes.
That we do know.
Man, did my day change? I thought I could just eat fucking red meat all day. And how did I know that the Duke died from not taking a dookie?
Not just him, the water horse as well.
Wait, the water horse died with 10 pounds of
it.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Was that the kid?
We confirmed that on the podcast. That's why the kid never saw him again.
The water horse and John Wayne have that in common.
Man,
I'm so confused.
By the way,
I'll go ahead and start.
No, because you guys are saying all this, and I'm realizing that I've ate 10 pounds of undigested meat, and I'm kind of worried now. Like, you guys are fucking with me. Like, am I gonna have to?
Every night at work, I get a little bit of tri-tip.
Said that I literally, you know how good you feel after eating 10 pounds of meat.
Very good.
You don't know how good you fucking feel. And I was on cloud 9, and now I'm on cloud like -9.
Hey, just you could die, but as long as you don't kill yourself because of your computer problems, you won't come out with 10 pounds of undigested red meat in your ass. Okay.
Computer problems are the least of my worries. You know what I got to worry about? I don't even care if I'm dead. My worst case scenario is I'm alive and my ass is prolapsed because of the amount of meat I've eaten.
It's what it's gonna look like when it comes out when you fart when you die. We're about to hit midnight.
So now we've been to the science lab, we've been to Tarakistan, and now we must journey beyond the Black Rainbow. Because that is my pick for this week. The 2010 trippy sci-fi horror film, the directorial debut of Mr. Panos Cosmatos, who would later go on to direct Mandy and has only made 2 films, but is about to make a third, which is what made me, I read that and that's what made me think of this. So the plot of this one is non-existent. Guys, what'd you think? Yeah, there is absolutely no plot to this movie whatsoever. Nothing happens. It is literally the single most boring film ever made in the history of cinema. The movie's only an hour and 49 minutes. It took me probably about 3 hours to watch it because I had to keep pausing it and getting up because I was gonna fucking fall asleep.
That is all this movie is.
Yep, you just nailed it. I had to just turn my volume down because that was fucking deafening, Sam.
Oh,
Well, you know, I gotta say this.
I apologize.
Despite this movie being not great and there being like moments of interesting parts and then moments of just like, why the fuck am I watching this? I will say this. I felt very much for the main character. I felt like I too was stuck in a state of being told I can't go out, being told I can't see my father. And today, guys, I think I'm going to break out of this little prison I'm in, and I'm going to try my best to get back out. I know I was in the sewer earlier, but today I am going to try to go out into the light. Not the artificial light that I am constantly under, but the light that we all can see.
Make sure that
Don't
creepy
shine the light in my eyes. No! Don't! Stop it!
Matt,
I am telekinetic.
if you trip on a rock and crack your head open, I'm gonna laugh super
Me too.
because that is dumb as fuck. While he's doing this, Jackson.
Okay. So, in all seriousness, the plot of the movie, the very little that there is there's a girl, she's in a science lab in the 80s, she's got telekinesis, there's a creepy ass scientist who's watching over her, and things happen, but not really. It's about what's gonna happen between the two of them. There are all kinds of crazy ass experiments going on in this fucking lab. But Sam, what did you?
I want to thank you.
Oh.
Because when I saw this movie was when it came out.
Mm.
I was head over heels. Thought this movie was wonderful. Thought it was wild. I had a super exciting time, and then I saw Mandy in theaters because I had seen this movie. Rewatching this, I took off the glasses, and I noticed that the first 5 to 15 minutes I love. And then once they establish everything that's going on, it immediately drops off. Immediately becomes this meandering, fucking, long, just never-ending fucking goddamn movie.
I completely agree with you.
And then, like, it starts to pick up when he starts stabbing those people with the knives, when he's trying to hunt her down. and then it just turns into one of the stupidest, most rushed endings possible. And then that's what just doesn't fucking make sense to me.
I agree. It was very rushed.
Well, Sam, I don't know if we've ever been in such complete agreement. That's pretty much exactly. Here's my experience watching the movie, okay? For me, this movie was about four different things during its runtime for me. For the first, like you said, 5 to 10 minutes, I thought it was just it did such a good job of building this incredibly creepy, tense atmosphere. Just like in Mandy, the production design and the cinematography and just all the visual aspects of it were just breathtaking, and they did such a good job of making it so eerie and creepy and weird. And I think Matt's frozen. Um, yeah, see how it feels, motherfucker. Who's laughing now? Anyway, don't know if he heard that, but
I didn't hear shit.
You'll hear it in the playback.
Yeah.
You'll hear it when the episode comes out, motherfucker. I got you good.
Oh boy.
But anyway, yeah, so the first 5 to 10 minutes, it does a great job building atmosphere, being creepy. I was like, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna love this." And then for the entire next like hour and 15, hour 30 minutes, it nothing happens. It's the most boring fucking, literally, I'm not exaggerating, the single most boring movie I've ever seen. Meandering as fuck. Absolutely nothing happens. It's just nothing. It's just
So,
nothing.
do you
And
retract your statements from last week where you said Mission Impossible 2 is the most boring movie
I
you had
didn't
ever
even mean
seen?
that when I said it. I was just fired up. That's far from the most boring movie ever. It's a boring as fuck movie, but I didn't mean that literally. I was just fired up in that moment. No, this is easily the most boring movie ever made. And then, so that's what it was for about an hour and a half or so. Then, in the last 10 minutes, it actually got interesting. When he starts going crazy and he starts chasing after her and she's running away, I'm like, oh my God, something's happening. Something's actually happening. It's interesting now. Holy shit. What are
You
the
get
I
those
can't
two
believe
dudes
it.
drinking by the fire.
Yeah, and he's killing assholes by the fire who taking a piss. And this is the third movie I think in a third week in a row where we have a movie with someone taking a piss. So that's a trend. I think we have some weird fetishes maybe we don't know about on a deep level. That and Repli babes, but
Yeah.
so, and then after that, so it goes from being interesting and engrossing to boring as fuck to holy shit, something's finally happening. And then in the last minute of the movie, it just becomes a troll movie. It just becomes a fucking shit post. I'm just like, this isn't real. I'm not kidding, guys. I was cackling when he tripped and hit his head on the rock. I was laughing my fucking ass off. It was the dumbest, most unintentionally hilarious shit I've ever fucking seen. I was like, that's how it ends. That's how it. I was like, this is a troll movie. This is not. This is a fucking shit post. I can't with
To
this.
Since I've done the other two, I need to pull it out. I got this fucker.
Oh
Now
yeah.
it has gone off of my like semi-important shelf to the just regular stack of movies that I have.
Yeah. Now it's got to go on the podcast shelf,
Oh, you're right. It is going on the podcast shelf now.
which the viewers don't know about yet, but they will.
I did
You'll
get a
find out.
card. I did get a card when I ordered this off of eBay back in like 2015, 2016 that just says thank you or enjoy the movie.
Okay. Thank you,
Oh
man.
yeah.
So I kept that because I bought it
Um,
off of some bootleg like non eBay kind of store.
okay. But Matt, what were your thoughts?
Man. Like, so I was worried when I first started this movie that I was being outcast by saying uh like, this was boring. But no, I'm glad I'm not, because like, yeah, I was pretty much like, I don't really care who this girl is. I don't really care if she's got powers. Cool. All right. Like, there were some cool scenes. But yeah.
They had all the ingredients. They had all the ingredients there. They just didn't do anything with it. And when I tell you I was bored, that old guy, that was a good impression of me while watching the film. That old guy was doing a good impression of me. That's
Now, I want
exactly
to
what I
bring up the
looked
old
like
guy,
watching
and
this.
I'm mad you kind of brought him up first because, and this isn't to pressure anyone, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I do want to share something with y'all.
Oh.
I was so like bored by this movie that but that old dude and the color palette of his green fucking face and everything made me think of this dude in Greensboro that shows up to every karaoke night at every bar. He has long, wispy, bleach blonde hair, glasses, and whatnot. And so, we're gonna start our first 3 for 3 auction bidding for a painting that I painted during this movie. Um, if anyone in the comments would like to bid, I will mail it to you. This is the karaoke goblin that this movie made me think of, with the
Okay.
teeth and everything.
We'll start the bidding at $1.
And he has a teal shirt. He has chest hair.
Can I bet 55 cents?
I mean, that could be the starting bid, but it won't cover postage. So
Can I do 50
someone's paying for it,
cents?
and it's not me. I'll tell
Can I
you
do
that much.
57 cents?
Okay.
But yeah, I painted this while watching this movie.
That's nice. That's very nice.
I'm gonna do 58 cents and then kill myself so the value appreciates for you.
And
You're
the
welcome.
the scar is from when he was holding the knife up to that dude's
Ah.
face and was rubbing it. And then I
Mm.
felt even more like it because my cat fucking cut my chin, and he
Uh-oh.
had that knife like grazing up his chin and then shoved it down that dude's throat.
I will.
Did your cat extort you for money?
Oh, he extorted me for something more valuable than money, and that is the salmon select cat food that I was trying to prevent him from eating because it was my other cat's food that he was trying to get to.
Let's be clear, you can kill your cat, right? I just want to say you're being extorted. You can kill him though. You're choosing not to. This is like it's
I'm
self-imposed at this
Do it
point.
like Christmas.
Don't play
Do
the
it,
victim, motherfucker.
do it like Christmas
You're not the
Vacation.
victim in this situation. The cat is the victim. You can kill him anytime you want. You can
I,
end the situation anytime you want.
Well, Matt, I'm glad you brought that up
I
because
almost killed Rosie 5 times.
that mentality is
5.
exactly how the scientist in this film felt about the girl. He's like, I can kill that bitch anytime I want, and so
It
I'm gonna
wasn't for
try.
financial reasons. This is all financial. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
That guy.
he
I think
certainly
what
was.
really upset me too was that the music started off so strong and then it became just background, not even like
Yeah, it's
interesting kind of
everything
like
kind of did,
stuff.
and to me, it's like I don't know. It's funny because this happens sometimes. The best way I can really describe this movie, other than how we all kind of already have, is, every now and then a director, like when they do their first movie, I kind of am like, this is more like a thesis than a film, because like I feel the same way, and this may be a hot take for some people.
Yo, what's Matt doing?
I'm like, dude, do your hot take. Do it.
What was I
We got
gonna
a
say?
Phantom
I have a
Cosmos
gun. It's
fan.
okay. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
America doesn't care.
But it's like this may be a hot take for
It's a
some
foreign
people.
film. It has a tariff on it now. We don't give a shit about foreign cinema.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Wait, does the gun reduce the tariff by 50%? Because it's so American.
There you go. That's a good loophole
Oh
there.
man.
Loophole, bitch. I should be
But
a lawyer.
yeah, but what was I saying? But I think it's like this is kind of maybe a hot take, but I feel like Eraserhead, is kind of like David Lynch, that was like more of a thesis than a movie, where that also kind of was a little too long and a little You know, it's like okay, but it was like where he honed
Okay,
his.
okay, that is a hot take. We're about to fight.
I'm not saying that it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's like compared to his other stuff, it's like, you know,
Okay, well, compare David Lynch's thesis to this thesis.
oh no, it's a
David
million
Lynch
times better.
kills it.
I'm not saying
David
they're on the
Lynch.
same. I'm not saying they're on the same level. But the
This
point.
is inauthentic to me.
No,
When I saw
I
this,
completely
can,
that
can,
movie. That
can we
movie.
read this is inauthentic?
I love a
And I
lot.
love Mandy.
I love a lot about Eraserhead. The movie itself doesn't completely work for me just because it is a little too long. It is a little too meandering. It feels like it maybe should
But
have been
there's
a little more
something, at
filmed.
least, there's like something original and real in
There
each
is,
frame.
and the
There's
but
something deep. And
the
like when
point
this one came out, I was like, when I saw this, I was like, I don't feel like there's anything new that I'm seeing. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
obviously Eraserhead's a million times better than this movie, but
Yes.
the point I'm trying to make is even though to me it's more of a thesis than a movie, it's like it did a good job of like, okay, he honed his craft, he honed his style. It was more just him saying like, this is who I am as a filmmaker, me honing my sensibilities. And then when he made The Elephant Man, it was like, okay, now I've really matured as a storyteller and I've made like a great movie with like a focused plot.
I
And
disagree.
this to me is like Panos Cosmatos kind of being like, okay, this is who I am as a filmmaker. These are my sensibilities. This is my style. And then when he made Mandy, which was a genuinely fucking phenomenal movie, that was him being like, okay, now I'm gonna like, now that I've made my first kind of thesis movie, I'm gonna really focus as a storyteller and make a more concentrated, much better film that does all these things that this movie did, but in a much better way, you know? So it's like, that's kind of just the overall what this is like you see all that there that you see in Mandy. It's just completely unfocused and he doesn't really know what to do with it yet, you know.
Uh, my my only gripe with the position, which isn't like a huge gripe, it's just like David Lynch didn't have that ability to like go from this position.
That's just one example. Like there are a lot of
And
examples. I'm not like
but also I want to say Panos as much as I like Mandy and I want to see his new film. This one just kind of struck me as like he was trying too hard to be too, like I think we talked, like you mentioned, he was trying a little too hard, in my opinion, on this one.
yeah.
And
It
not
really
even like a
annoyed me.
trying too hard and to be myself. I'm trying too hard to be like other people. And that's
Well,
what bothered me about
That's
it.
where I
don't think
can
he's
see
trying.
one of my favorite parts that I can see fitting into that is where the scenes that are so white, but you have like the outlines of them and his third eye opens and everything like that. I felt like that was one of my favorite moments and was very like interesting and gripping, but like that's where I was like this was the level of weirdness that you needed for this, but everything that you're doing when things are not
2010.
actually happening are just fucking obnoxiously
No, that's
so
exactly
like
Sam. I really couldn't agree with you more. It's like yeah, it's like okay, it's like again, the visual, style like the so like the technical aspects are so brilliant and like the way that whole section is shot to me was so brilliant, but like nothing that is happening makes any sense and like you said is obnoxiously drawn out and just
Yeah.
there's nothing going on. And that's the whole movie really.
Can I disagree with one part? There is not one section of this film that I thought was brilliant. No offense to the movie.
Visually, technically, I
Even visually, like there was
I
shots
truly
where I was
think it
just like,
was.
fine,
I
you're
really
doing
think
the
it
third.
was.
Like it was
I can
fine. I was
understand
like,
both sides.
that's just my thing. I want to bring that out because like even then I saw it. I was like, okay, visually this movie fucks. And then at a certain point I went, does it though? Like about a halfway through, I even questioned my own review of it. And I was like, does this fuck? Like, is it really fucking, or is this like shit we've seen before and he's just throwing this in there? Like, I don't know.
I can tell you
I
where I've
didn't.
seen it before. I saw it in Mandy. I mean, it's like
No, it's not even Mandy. It wasn't. It wasn't that. It just felt like you mentioned, kind of. It's like it's your first film. Like you're kind of figuring shit out, and it's just like, yeah, you can see him kind of figuring shit out. To me,
I mean
this seems like the most figuring shit out
to
like
me
movie.
because Mandy, I haven't seen another movie like Mandy. Mandy is truly like a very original, unique, like I mean, very just,
That one had more of
bold.
a story. Like the story made sense though, because you had that moment in the beginning where it was all
But I'm not talking about the story. I mean, like the story of that movie is what makes it good. I'm just talking about like the look and the style of that film.
They weren't
It's
the same as this one.
say what?
They weren't the same though. That's what I'm saying. Like he evolved this
I
one.
think
I
they
don't
were very
disagree.
similar in the sense that they're very
I,
psychedelic.
we're not talking about.
It's very psychedelic, it's very colorful, it's very trippy. The visuals are just very appealing.
That kind
Again,
of film grain to it.
all of the shit that was in Mandy is in this film. It's just unfocused. Like that style is present in this film. It's just completely scattershot and unfocused, and he doesn't know what to do with it yet. And because in Mandy, there's a story that you care about, and there are characters that you care about. In this film, there aren't. So it's like, again, it's like, and the reason I use Eraserhead is just one example. There are many other examples of like, a director's very first movie where it's like, it's more a thesis than a film, and then they mature a lot more on the second
Like
one.
Robert Eggers, I think The Witch is
The Witch I actually really
wonderful.
like as a movie.
As
The
a,
But
ending
I
I
as a
don't
think that
film
love.
is
that's like
really good
that's his
though.
starting point, and that he established his style. And
But
I
then
like
mean,
Christopher
you
Nolan
could
with
argue Ari
Following.
Aster started with Meet the Johnsons, but like that's also a short film. But like
Jackson,
honestly,
sorry, you.
I was gonna double down on that Ari Aster
There are
film.
a lot of examples. That's just the one I'm using because again, it's like to me, that's just the only one I can think of off the top of my head right now. It's just that movie to me is like Lynch was just establishing all of his style and his sensibilities and just like, okay, this is who I am and what I'm gonna be like as a filmmaker going forward. And then, but the story was kind of meandering and it really kind of maybe should have been a short film instead of a feature film. And, then Elephant Man was like, okay, no, everything that I learned on that movie, I'm going to take it, I'm going to apply it to this, and it's just going to be like a genuinely like great film with like a
I'm
more focused plot, and there are a lot of times where that's the case. That's just the one I chose for this. I just think that in this case, but again, with a lot of those cases, it's like the movie because Eraserhead is still a fine movie. Like I don't love it, but it's a fine movie with a lot of extremely, especially for the time it was made, extreme. The technical aspects of that film are unfucking matched. That's one of the key differences between that and this movie. Like to this day, the technical aspects of
So
that film are fucking brilliant.
how
So
can you how can you divide the technical aspects are unmatched with the it's a fine movie?
what do you mean?
What do you mean? Like it's like at least a good movie or a great movie? Like
No,
damn,
because the
like,
story is all over the
I mean
place.
not at least because like while Racer yes is like wild and weird, there's definitely a vision and there's a through point and there's like a connected line. Like I could take a thread, start at the beginning, shoot it through the end, and there's no cuts to me.
So much of the middle part of the movie is just extremely meandering and kind of just nothing really happens for a lot of it, and it's just kind of like again,
That's light. That's what I think he was trying to say. Like David Lynch a little bit because he was trying to go for the whole like working man thing. Like
okay, but again, you can do that and have the movie be an hour shorter and still get the point across. You don't need it as much as there's just a lot of
not a
points in
movie
the
though.
movie where it's just meandering as fuck. And either way, we can pick that movie for a different day. I'm just saying, it's
I
like,
will have a good
Jackson,
conversation with
this
you
is
about
another
that one.
tangent.
Apparently, I didn't think we would.
This is
yeah,
another
I
tangent,
thought it'd
but
be more of an
Jackson,
agreeing one.
thank you for mentioning Christopher Nolan because the following that's his first movie, right? The
hmm
following. And I could be wrong, but is Insomnia his second?
no, Memento.
Oh, Memento. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
Memento was right
Memento was
after
the second, and
Insomnia.
that was after like his short film,
Okay.
I think,
Um,
or
I
like
saw yesterday a photo of you and me together on the 7-year anniversary of us watching Scent of a Woman, Insomnia, and
Dog Day
Dog Day
Afternoon.
Afternoon, and I was like, damn, it's been 7 years since
That's
Jackson and I
wild.
watched all three of those
I
movies.
didn't know there were any photos of that night. That's good to know.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, because that was a good night. I was very proud to show you two of those, and then you showed me Dog Day Afternoon. But which that was fun because neither of us had seen that one. Oh shit, what am I doing? That's crazy.
you're pissing.
You were finding the
You look like you're
remotes,
pissing.
and you found the
I do
remote, so
look like I'm
you
pissing.
turned right as I did it, and you smiled.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a photo
I have
of
about 8
the
billion photos.
Insomnia like logo.
Yep.
with
The
all the
photos
random.
from our movie nights are immaculate, by the way.
I got
Which-
hit by a car the night I saw those movies, so like it's.
Oh, you did?
very
That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
picked you up in downtown. I picked you up at the Epicenter in Charlotte or somewhere. It was near there. I think it was at Spirit Square actually. And you were a little late, and then you got there and you said, "Sorry, I just got hit by a car." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right after a Chance the Rapper concert.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
That was a wild night. But what was
Fuck being polite.
where were we?
Matt was killing me over saying something about Eraserhead. But which I didn't mean for this to turn into a discussion about that.
It
That was
turned into a discussion about
that
Razorhead.
was one
It
example
does.
I was using. I'm not in any way comparing that to this movie, other
It
than
does kind
just
of
to
upset me.
say,
I can't think of the composer's name right now, but that this is the only movie they've ever composed music for, and I want them to do something else because I want to see if they've evolved as a writer. Not to say that I could even write the type of music that they wrote. They did things that I have no concept of, and things that I know how they did it, and just don't understand how to do it myself. But like, how could you make some music that just becomes like sub-harmonic to the level that it's just like vibrations underneath the movie? It's not even like an actual tangible audio.
Well, Sam, to your point, it's called Black Rainbow History.
What?
Black Rainbow History.
that one didn't work.
That's what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I apologize. Unless this is a reading rainbow joke and you're talking about LeVar Burton being the Black Rainbow, I don't know what you mean.
And
I think it's about time we
white
wrap this one
people,
up.
man, white people, right here, both of you, white people. Not getting what I'm saying. You don't get what I'm talking about. There's something deeper here, and we're all missing it. And we started with it. Jackson, you followed up with it, and I'm out here having to fucking land the plane. Goddamn, fuck you guys for giving me this plane to land.
Plane's gonna get hit by a missile in a second.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
We can only do so much.
We got 4 minutes
Matt,
and
I was
29
so
seconds.
mad at you. Like, I stopped what I was doing to watch War Inc. on Memorial Day just because you said it has like a big
It's
Memorial
the
Day
last-
connection. It is the last like
last-
fucking 30
last-
seconds someone says one line. Hillary Duff, I think.
No, it's Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's her. It's Memorial Day weekend. Can't
By
get
the
it.
end of the movie, I was so caught off guard by how fucked the movie was that I was like, I forgot Matt even mentioned Memorial Day, and I just got thrown back into reality at the very end of that.
Well, I'm going to
fucking
try
weird.
before we run out of time here. I'm going to try to wrap this up.
Nope. I
No.
want you. It's a bad shit crazy episode. It's a loco guano episode. And so thunder and lightning.
That's a callback.
Yeah, thunder and lightning. Now you go for it, my friend. You're good.
Well, I would say that this episode has lived up to its name. This has been a rather batshit crazy episode.
Beyond the Black Rainbow's conversation is going to be like 5 minutes long, and it's going to be a 6 to 7 minute intermission of the Eraserhead argument.
Yeah, which I don't know how that happened, but I want to stress to the viewers, Matt took it there. I was not trying to compare the movies in any other way than just it's the director's first
I
film.
want to stress to the viewers. Jackson's a piece of shit liar. He wanted to take it there.
But that has nothing to do with anything.
No, he's trying to backtrack. He's trying to backtrack, and we're not going to let him. We all saw it. We watched The progression of events. Jackson caused this whole thing.
Well, on that note, it's been another week of 3 for 3. And we'll see you guys next time.
Okay.
Don't let them fool you.
Have you been 3 for 3 this week? None of us seem to be.
I don't think we're any of us are 3 for 3.
I don't even think I'm 1
2.5
for 3.
Actually, 2.1 out of 3. I think Beyond the Black Rainbow is the 0.1. I am there for War Inc. enough to give it at least a solid, like, I'm glad I watched that. And then Repligator, I am 100%.
Yeah, I'm 1.5. It's Repligator 1.5, War Inc. 0 for Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Okay, I'll change mine. Yeah, 1.5.
I'm Beyond the Black Rainbow, as in, like, you know, I'll throw it down for some BBC. I'm beyond that Black Rainbow.
I can truly think of no better way to close this episode out. Goodbye, everybody.
Y'all. Yeah. 3, 4, 3.